Thank you for coming back to our channel, Legends Leaving. We made a list of the famous actors who died today and put it in this memorial video. Those famous people who will be missed, but who made important contributions to their works have sadly died today. Please show your love by giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. 5. Denise Gagnon was a famous Canadian actor who was born on September 17, 1936 in Montreal, Quebec. She had a big effect on the Canadian film and TV industries. Gagnon became interested in the performing arts at a young age after growing up in a place with lots of different cultures. She followed her dreams by going to the National Theatre School of Canada to study drama there. She improved her craft and learned the skills that would help her become a famous actress. Gagnon's work began in the late 1960s when she started performing on stages across Canada. Her ability to bring complicated roles to life made her famous very quickly in the theater world. Her acts had a lot of emotional depth and she was able to connect with the audience. These were traits that would later define her work on screen. Gagnon quickly became known for her ability to switch between different types of movies and TV shows, going from playing serious roles in independent films to more comedic roles in popular TV shows. Within the 1970s and 1980s, Gagnon became known as one of Canada's most admired actors. Among the movies she was in that got good reviews were L.A. Chambre Blanche, The White Room, which got her nominated for the Genie Award for Best Actress. Her work on TV was just as amazing, with memorable parts in shows like Les Fils de Caleb and He Shoots, He Scores. Gagnon was a well-liked figure in Canadian entertainment because she could play a lot of different roles and was naturally good on TV. Not only did Gagnon work as an actress, but she also worked hard to help the arts in Canada. A lot of young artists looked up to her, and she was involved in many projects to promote Canadian theatre and film. Many awards, including a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Canadian Screen Awards, were given to her for her work in the business. Denise Gagnon died on August 14, 2024. She was 87 years old. Her death ended an amazing career that lasted more than 50 years. Gagnon left behind acts that people will never forget and that continue to move and inspire people because she worked hard at her craft and added to Canadian society. She is now known as one of the best actors in Canadian history. Denise Gagnon's work shows how talented she was and how much of an impact she had on the playing world even after she died. 4. Luther Kent was a famous American blues singer born Kent Roll on June 23, 1948 in New Orleans, Louisiana. He had a powerful, soulful voice and a charming stage presence that made him a beloved figure in the New Orleans music scene. Kent was greatly affected by the lively sounds of blues, jazz, and R&B. From a very young age, he grew up in a city with a lot of musical history. He started singing when he was a youngster and quickly became famous for his wide vocal range and powerful ability to make people feel things through his music. Kent's big break came in the 1970s when he joined the band Cold Grits, which later changed its name to Luther Kent Trick Bag. This band was known for playing a lively mix of swinging blues and New Orleans R&B. They had a full horn section that gave their shows a unique and exciting sound. Luther Kent Trick Bag quickly built a loyal fan base in New Orleans and beyond. They played at well-known events and festivals, such as the New Orleans Jazz Heritage Festival. People loved Kent's voice, which was often compared to the voices of famous blues singers like Bobby Blue Bland and Ray Charles. It cemented his image as one of the best blues singers of his time. During his career, Luther Kent worked with many of the biggest names in blues, jazz, and rock, which made him even more of a musical legend. Among other famous acts, he played with B.B. King, Dr. John, and the Neville Brothers. Kent was a popular performer and recording artist because he could easily switch between styles and give his shows a lot of emotion. His albums, such as World Class, the Bobby Bland Songbook, and It's in the Bag, were praised by critics and showed off his amazing ability. Not only did Luther Kent do live shows and record music, he also became a popular radio host. His last show, Luther's House Party, played on WBRH on Saturdays and was very popular. Kent could share his love of music with more people on the show, where he played a variety of styles, including blues, jazz, and R&B, and talked about his long and successful career. Luther Kent died in New Orleans on August 16, 2024, At the age of 76, he left behind a rich legacy that continues to inspire artists and fans alike. People will remember his contributions to blues and New Orleans music for a long time, and those who heard his soulful, passionate voice will always remember it. 3. People around the world know him as Silvio Santos. He was born on December 12, 1930, in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, to a family that wasn't very wealthy. His parents were Jewish and came to the United States from Greece and Turkey. They taught him the value of hard work and persistence. Santos had a business spirit from a young age. He sold things on the streets of Rio de Janeiro. To help support his family, he finally became an announcer on the radio in the early 1950s, thanks to his charm and ability to sell things. He went on to have a great career that made him one of the most well-known and respected television figures in Brazil. In the 1960s, Santos moved from radio to TV, where his natural ability to make people laugh grew. He became a TV host and ran a number of shows that included games, humor, and audience interaction. Millions of people loved his most famous show, Programa Silvio Santos, which ran for decades and became a mainstay of Brazilian TV. Santos became famous all over Brazil because he could connect with people through his friendly, down-to-earth attitude and interesting style. In addition to being a famous actor, Silvio Santos was also a brilliant businessman. In 1958, he started Grupo Silvio Santos, a group of companies that would grow to include many others, including the SBT Sistema Brasileiro de Televisão Company. When it began in 1981, SBT quickly grew to become Brazil's second largest TV network, competing with Rede Globo for viewers. Santos' ability to lead and run a business were key to SBT's success. He brought in new shows and made viewers loyal. Grupo Silvio Santos expanded into areas like finance, real estate, and retail, solidifying his position as one of Brazil's most powerful and wealthy people. His impact went beyond television. There was more to Silvio Santos than just his wealth in the media. He was a culture icon. His story of going from poverty to wealth inspired generations of Brazilians, and his work in the entertainment business earned him many awards and honors. Even though he was very successful, Santos stayed close to his roots. He often portrayed himself as an average man who did amazing things by working hard and being determined. He was 93 years old when he died on August 17, 2024. His death put an end to a time in Brazilian TV and had a huge effect on the whole country. Santos was an innovative media owner and a well-liked TV personality. His memory lives on through the many businesses he started and the many lives he touched through his work. His life story shows how important it is to keep going, be creative, and remember that real, heartfelt fun will always be popular. 2. Tylerhateslife was an American musician who was born Tyler Bennett on September 15, 1995. He was known for making a mix of alternative rock, emo, and electronic music that was all his own. Tyler grew up in a tough setting in a small Ohio town. This made him love music even more as a way to escape and express himself. His early life was marked by mental health problems, which had a big impact on the way he made art in his teens. He started making and recording music. 9 Inch Nails, My Chemical Romance, and Blink 182 were some of the bands that started him on this path. Tyler changed his name to Tylerhateslife in the early 2010s. This name fit with his often dark and thoughtful lyrics. His music quickly became popular on social media sites and music streaming services because it was full of raw feeling and was made with simple tools. Tyler's honest lyrics about sadness, anxiety, and existential dread made songs like Broken Mirrors and Lonely Nights. Popular with a growing fan base, it was a unique style that stuck out in the alternative music scene. His sound was a smooth mix of rough guitar riffs, sad melodies, and electronic beats. The reason Tylerhateslife became so popular was because he could connect with people on a very personal level. His lyrics often talked about hopelessness, sadness, and self-reflection. They gave people who felt alone or misunderstood a voice. Tyler stayed grounded and connected with his fans, even as he became more famous. He often shared personal stories and problems on social media. People found comfort in his songs, not just for himself, but for many others as well. The critics loved Tyler's first record, Dark Days, Bright Nights, which came out in 2018. With songs that covered a wide range of emotions and musical styles, the album showed how much he had grown as an artist. After the record did well, Tyler went on a number of tours, playing in small venues where he could get to know his fans better. His live performances were known for being intense and emotional, which added to his image as an interesting and real artist. Tyler Bennett died on August 14, 2024, when he was 24. When he was 28 years old. His fans and people in the music business were shocked by his death. They were sad about losing a skilled artist whose music had touched so many people's lives. His music, which continues to encourage and connect with people who are having a hard time in life, is Tylerhateslife legacy. His voice, which is both eerie and beautiful, is a strong reminder of how art can change people's lives. Chris Gregory Keane, better known as Greg Keane, was born in Baltimore, Maryland on July 10, 1949. Keane loved music from a very young age. He learned to play the guitar and started writing songs when he was a teenager. He went to California in the early 1970s after graduating from high school. The lively music scene in the Bay Area inspired him to become a rock musician. Folk rock and the new punk movement were some of Keane's early musical inspirations. They all helped him create his own unique sound. The Greg Keane Band was formed by Keane in 1976. The band was famous for its upbeat shows and catchy songs. The band quickly signed with the Berkeley Records label after getting a lot of fans in the Bay Area. The band's big break in the early 1980s was due to Keane's songwriting skills and his ability to make pop rock songs. Their biggest hits, the breakup song They Don't Write AM in 1981 and Jeopardy in 1983, were played on the radio all the time and made Keane a famous name in power pop and rock music. One of their songs, Jeopardy, got to No. 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, which was the height of their financial success. Keane's singing career took off, but he also tried his hand at other kinds of art. He started writing horror and thriller books in the 1990s. He had always liked this type of writing. People liked his books like Horror Show and Big Rock Beat, which showed how good he was at telling stories in different ways. From being a musician to writing novels, Keane showed how versatile he was and how he could fascinate people in a variety of forms. Keane was well known in the San Francisco Bay Area for his work in radio and books, as well as music and writing. He was the host of the morning show on KFOX for more than 10 years. His interest in rock history and his friendly nature made him a fan favorite. Keane's work on the radio made him even more of a culture icon in the area by bringing together music, literature, and broadcasting. He was 75 years old when he died on August 13, 2024. For many people who grew up listening to his songs and reading his books, his death was the end of an era. Keane had a huge impact on rock music, especially in the 1980s. His gifts to the arts were praised by both fans and artists who worked with him. People remember him not only for his #1 hits, but also for how he changed as an artist and found new ways to connect with fans across multiple channels. Many people still remember Greg Keane as a singer, writer, and radio host, which shows how much he changed American pop culture. Ellen Burstyn is a famous American actor who was born on December 7, 1932. In Detroit, Michigan, she is best known for her powerful roles in movies like The Exorcist and Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, for which she won an Academy Award. After more than 60 years in the business, Burstyn is a respected star in Hollywood, known for her skill in playing complicated and deeply felt roles, but in the last few years, worries about Burstyn's health have grown. As she got older into her 90s, there were stories that she was having health problems related to getting older, such as having trouble moving around and generally getting worse as you age. She has kept working in the business, appearing in movies and on TV, but her parts have become less physically demanding, and she hasn't done as many of them. What this has done is make fans and the media wonder about her health. In 2024, some bad news about her health came to light, which suggested that she had been having a string of health problems that were really affecting her daily life. Even with all of these problems, Burstyn has stayed strong and continues to inspire many with her strong character and impressive work.